Срочно нужно потрогать траву. Вот, трогаю. Ну, достаточно.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
Volо carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Don't fidget. The needle must slip behind your eye, not through it.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volо frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it.
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Какой же придурок.
Volо carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick.
Я надеюсь, я не пожалею. Вообще-то я не хотела избавляться от паразита, но мне интересно, чем это чревато.
Volо slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now.
Хирург чертов.
Don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that?
Ебать, мне аж самой больно стало.
We have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volо tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Спасибо, Воло.
Охренеть! Просто поверить не могу. Ты что, со своим хуем мозгами поменялся?
Tret.
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage.
Emotional damage.
Cosmetic damage.
Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do.
Блядь, понял? Уже не смешно, хуйней занимаешься.
Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
То куда, а я по съебам.
Беги, беги, козел. Можешь видеть невидимых существ, находящихся в пределах 9 метров.
What's on your mind? Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was
А глаз
perhaps the most
симпатичный, кстати.
powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like to be a god, to know yourself, to be untouchable, to be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. Loving them has its side effects as well. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. And try to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Welcome to the League of the Lone Eye, my friend. Not to minimize the pain of Volo's poking and prodding, but I promise, you'll be used to the prosthesis in no time. Besides, I find it gives one an air of mystique. No one's more intriguing than a woman with one eye.
Hello, my sweet. I was so hoping you'd say that. Until later, then.
A curious ornate box. Its many sides are engraved with indecipherable glyphs. No openings you can see, yet you sense something inside it.
Huh. There's something about it, isn't there? Can an object have magnetism?
The box doesn't yield.
Perhaps it needs a magic word. Try please or sledgehammer.
Wow. It must be love.
Погнали. Только собаке нравится. Так, ну-ка иди сюда. Никудышное исполнение.
Do you need help, Icaron?
Zevlor.
By Delt's virtue. The Blade of Frontiers? What's happened, Will?
I paid the price of angering the wrong devil.
Believe me, I understand better than most.
A moment passes as Zevlor contemplates Will's words. He then turns his attentions to you.
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. And I hear you are the one to thank. I'm grateful. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it. It's not enough, but it's all we have.
Hälsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Korga. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
What's the story? Saddle up.
How fares the search?
Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
That feels... good. I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less... changeable. Cheers, mate.
Pleasure. And as for the heat, I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. Find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt, I'll have figured something out by then. Take care, Karlak. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way,
Damon's upgrade didn't cool me down, but it did juice me up. I don't think I've ever felt more powerful. Bring it on.
I thought I had been a good teacher to you. Clearly not.
Там какой-то срач происходит.
You took it upon yourself to undertake the rite of thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches while you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish, Master Hellsin.
Так ее, так ее. Красавчик.
She shows great insolence, but time will humble her, and the grove still needs her. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The grove stands. Nature prevails. And again, I am in your debt. Speak to Wrath. He will reward you for your efforts. Soon. Remember the dangers I told you about. There'll be plenty of time to face them. Take tonight to rest, recuperate, celebrate. Tomorrow, I'll join your camp, so I can help with the trials yet to come. Banished.
Then banish me. When the coming army marches, there will be none to protect you. Peace. Enjoy it while it lasts.
You think you saved us? You just prolonged the inevitable. Sooner or later, other outsiders will bring trouble to the Grove.
We're free of the goblins, but the Grove is changed. Wounded. The days ahead won't be easy. I'm glad we have Hellsin to guide us.
I hear the goblin leaders met their ends. Unfortunate for them, but very fortunate for the Grove.
He will bring us balance.
I'm going to have to write a song about you now, aren't I? But truly, thank you. It's nice to be done with the sad songs. For a time.
We're moving! We're ready to head to your camp. Are you?
Watching gods. While I was training children, you were out cutting down an entire goblin camp.
We did. Arm yourselves. Better to have a wedding.
You took care of the goblins. Nice work.
With the goblins dead, we might actually make it to Baldur's Gate.
I'd have put good coin on you running off into the sunset. But you did it. You stopped the goblins. Thank you.
You've solved one problem for us. Guess it's on us to solve the next.
You killed the goblins. Hope you made them suffer.
We did it.
Here lies Cannon. He gave his life defending others. He will be missed.
I hate you. You killed all the goblins, and now we can't practice swords anymore.
You do good work. If you can handle more than goblins, might be I'll have use of you in Baldur's Gate. Always a deal to be done, even now. Not to die up there.
Don't know why everyone's cheering. We're just going back on the road.
Gods, it seems we might actually make it to the city now. Hope the neighbors are a bit more welcoming.
I knew this would come right if we just stayed positive. Not that your blade didn't help too.
Heldrael didn't want us, and those druids sure as hell didn't either. But you risked your life for us.
We made it somehow. Now we just need to get to Baldur's Gate.
Don't I know it? But there's 2 more boxes after this one. Back to worrying about road rations it is. So many mouths to feed, but, well, that's not a bad problem to have. Thank you, truly.
We didn't die today. Tomorrow, perhaps, but not today. Thanks to you.
Baldur's Gate, we're coming.
One sorrow ended, the next soon to begin.
So it's true. You scattered the goblins. Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you. Of course. May you keep balance.
Peace. Enjoy it while it lasts.
You did this grove a great favor. Now leave the rest to us.
I wasn't sure about you at first. Thought you might be trouble. I was very wrong.
I think it's high time you all left. Our sacred grove has sheltered you enough.
Within the inner sanctum, of course. It is not for us to fight your battles. I assure you, the feeling is mutual.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Блин, этот рад должен нам награду выдать. Но мы, кажется, его уже убили. Спасибо, Рад. Ну а чё, он сам виноват. Он спалил, как мы у него воруем.
We're ready to head to your camp. Are you? Excellent. Lead the way.
Они все теперь будут жить у меня, что ли? Я не понимаю. Что у вас здесь происходит?
Beautiful night, don't you think? Nothing like a brush with destruction to make one appreciate the majesty of the celestial canvas. It's a view I would once have shared with my companion, though definitely unaccompanied by such revelry. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us. Ink glinting in the firelight.
By a Gerorn's lost nose! No! Tara is not any cat. She's a Tressum. And given your confusion, I'm guessing you've never met one. They're brilliant creatures. Fine company for any self-respecting wizard. She'd be most impressed by our efforts saving these tieflings. Proud, even. And I've given her little to be proud of recently, after I was afflicted with my condition. And locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable. Wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I've given up on myself. But Tara never did. It was her encouragement. Her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. After so long being cared for by someone else, it feels good to have repaid the favor. Not directly to Tara, but to these poor tieflings. I'm sure she would approve. You remind me of her somewhat. There's a steeliness in you. An unwavering tenacity, even in the face of, to be frank, quite dire odds. Wish she were here for me to make a formal introduction. But I would never ask her to undertake such a journey. She's safer at home. Besides, she was always telling me I needed to spread my wings, so to speak. Find mortal friends instead of hanging onto Mistra's coattails. So that's what I'm doing. I hope. Sadly not. If I'm being entirely honest, my social circle is rather small. More of a dot. Or a pinhead. I've got acquaintances, certainly. Plenty of colleagues. Friends? Those are precious indeed. I hope, though we've only known each other for a short time, I might be able to count you among that number. Were I to recite that list, I fear we'd be here at dusk tomorrow. Many things, I assure you. But a conversation better saved for another time. With my condition as volatile as it is, I fear any undue excitement may tip it over the edge, so to speak. Go! Indulge in the frivolities. They're good for the heart. And mine will be all the lighter to see you enjoying yourself.
Go on now, don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll have plenty of time together on the way to moonrise.
О боже, это что такое? Baldurs гей. Ну ты что, я вижу его второй раз, ладно, третий.
Later, perhaps. Don't worry about me. A night under the stars amidst nature's creation is just what I need after being locked up in the goblin's dungeon. Go on, enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here. You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Neogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades. Yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness. I smell their blood on you still. I'd have liked to have tasted it. Too bad for us both. Your bunk will be quite busy. Take all the pleasures you can before dawn brings their end.
Да? Ну да, места тут для всех, конечно, маловато. Если ты об этом.
Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am. Cheers to many more like this.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas? After Elturel, I think you're right. Faerun deserves to see us as we really are.
Так, женщина, я не поняла, ты со всеми решила по очереди прибухнуть? Forever alone. А где Уилл?
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for? Desperate people. Refugees. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd. Something like that. I was taught to reject anything that distracted from Shah. But there'll be time for penance later.
Would you look at this place? All these people, happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible. And with good potations, too. Not so much. You spend the whole time avoiding swords and schemes. Plus, people just get nastier as the night wears on. I tried to make friends at first. Learned my lesson fast. Better to keep to yourself in hell. Fuck yes! I'm celebrating my freedom, and our friendship, and these folks' bright future besides. All I need now is a fire-retardant lover to get lost in till sunrise. You too, soldier. Enjoy yourself tonight. You've earned it.
Во, главный тусовщик стоит. Зацените, как ему весело.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone.
А я заметила.
No. I'm deeply proud of you. A touch less so of myself. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party. Claws will pop the balloons, you see. And the sweet cakes don't taste half as good as raw eggs with this blasted forked tongue. There are spikes in places there really shouldn't be. But off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music. Some time alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
More like it. How many
Here's my little treat with their cheeks all flushed. You will come to my bed tonight, won't you? Oh, I certainly can. It would be my pleasure. How about this one? All these accolades from the tieflings are nothing compared to the sound of my name, cried from your lips. Not half as sweet as when I tasted you. Let me give it another go. Every part of your perfect body whispers temptation. It's as if the gods made you just to ruin me.
Ach, nein! Cringe!
Вот сейчас лопнет, и я тоже.
Well, they worked on you last time, didn't they? How about if I said these little words? Everyone's favorite. I love you. I am. It's hard not to with you. Now, as much as I relish standing around and saying all my favorite lines at you, I'd much rather we got to experience each other's full portfolio of talents once again.
Ну вот это уже обидно на самом деле было. Такие шуточки мы не любим.
I'll be waiting.
Buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. You've picked up a few pleasant memories on your journey amongst your struggles.
Какой Гейл, женщина, ты чего?
Your heart skips a beat. What treasures might this night bestow?
I hoped you would come. I have missed you. And now you're all mine. And I'm all yours. Until morning, at least. Let's see where the night takes us.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done. Moonrise Towers beckons. I've told you all I know, and now I'll join your camp to help you face whatever's to come. With luck and the Oak Father's blessings, we might actually survive. Are you ready? Onward then. We'll speak soon, I'm sure. Oak Father's blessings to you. I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say. Hopefully, I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. I sent a bird to summon her. If only everyone said that. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence. Indeed. Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found. It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness and despair for years now. Those who remained are shadow-cursed. If you don't die at their hands, then you become one of them. We have to get to Moonrise. But the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better. Those illithid creatures threaten the natural order. It's my duty to do what I can to stop them. There's also the Shadow Curse. It's an affront and must be cleansed. I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. If I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse, just as you find a cure for your infection. Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can. I studied the Shadow Curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source. Perhaps. But we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into practice. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said. Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done something about both the Shadow Curse and Ceremorphosis aberrations. But in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close. Miss it? Oh dear, no. It's a terrible burden. Takes you away from nature and forces you to deal with others' problems and personalities. Be wary of anyone who actually wants such a role, I say. Likely they don't understand it, or they have ill intent. I'm just glad to be out here amidst the Oakfather's creations. Wonderfully. If I'm honest, the Grove was too comfortable for my tastes. I felt removed from nature. I'll miss my books, but I can find all the wisdom they contain out here, firsthand. Is that so? Well, nature does abhor waste. I will keep watch, thank you. I had a feeling time in your company would prove fruitful.
Что это за вариант? Я ничего такого не делала, за что мне может быть стыдно. Давайте посмотрим.
There are few things that are too strong for me. And cast those regrets aside. You did not get caught up in the moment. You seized it. In other circumstances, I would have done the same. A bad impression. Impossible.
Ладно, тема вроде закрыта, спасибо.
Speak.
Что началось-то? Боже мой.
I hadn't thought myself so transparent. Well, you'd be a succulent meal.
О боже.
I'd like to have gorged.
Что с вами, братаны?
But you've been prodded and picked over like a suckling boar. I prefer fresher meat.
До свидания, женщина. Ты, надеюсь, не хочешь меня пощипать тоже за что-нибудь? Тут где-то рассыпали хорни зелья? Спасибо. А что это такое? Поясните. Ночь прошла очень весело, походу. Зацените припасы просто.
The corpse does not respond.
Мое ощущение — полная беспомощность.
Look at that.
That's far enough. What's your business down here? Answer honestly and maybe we'll kill you clean. No, you don't. Still. Takes steel to swagger in here. If you're half as tough as you think you are, I might have a job for you. We've disarmed the traps. Come down.
That's curious. Seems simple enough.
What's wrong with the artist? Besides the bleeding obvious, he misses the sun. He what? Needs light to work, he says. We had a chat. Turns out he needs his eyes more.
I want to have a word.
You don't want to keep Zaris waiting. Believe me.
Boot knife. Shit.
You. The way you handled Zaris. You're not one of her thugs. You need to buy me. Not to you, perhaps. But those of actual taste might disagree. For the return of her prize artist, my patron will measure her gratitude in gold. Tenfold whatever ransom these clots try to squeeze from you, I guarantee it. As far as you're concerned, she may as well be the coin maiden herself. But there will be time for questions later. Please, speak to Brem. I need to see the sun again.
Not many can talk their way into a Zentarim outpost. I could use someone with your skills. Interested in a job? Still am as it goes. Take it as a mark of respect. But right now, I reckon we're better off friends than enemies. You interested or not? Cleaning up? We had a steady operation going here. Then someone kidnapped a duke. Right on our bloody doorstep. The Flaming Fist will want someone to blame, and I don't plan to leave anything pointing our way. Some of our people are missing. More importantly, so is their cargo. Find them. Keep them alive if you can. Failing that, just bring that shipment back. Unopened. God damn it! What about the shipment? You opened the shipment. You've killed me. You've bloody killed us all. Damned if I won't return the favor. Lads, kill her!
Fancy.
Another step forward. I need a quick word.
Gods above, woman! I said buy me! If you didn't have the coin, you might have just said. In any case, I am a slave no longer. And your money troubles are over, rest assured. For you have saved none other than Oscar Fevras. Fear not, friend. My patron will make good on all my debts. My betrothed, I should say. Assuming Lady Janeth still wishes to marry me after our little, falling out.
You recall a recent scandal. A patriarch of Baldur's Gate who wished to marry a commoner.
I did not run away. A date was never set. There were complications. Before my fame, my patron, there was another woman. One I planned to spend my life with. But when Lady Janeth offered me a future, well, it felt only right to mention my past. Right, but unwise. I was forced to retreat into the countryside, to paint and to clear my head, to choose, I suppose. Oh, absolutely none. Fame and wealth suit me very well, no doubt. And yet, I think of that first love, and I hesitate. Likely I'm going mad. Regardless, we have more immediate concerns. Your reward once I've returned to the city, for one. Say, I don't suppose you could spare some coin, could you? Ease the discomforts of the road some. Right you are. Just asking for a little help, was all. Until Baldur's Gate, then.
Over there.
Here goes nothing.
That's curious.
Someone's left a trap out for us.
Yes! Damon can use this to fix me.
Hard to challenge.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Defender of the people.
Let's see here. Yes. Still nothing.